Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc. We're talking comics, movies, TV, and pop culture. Tonight, we've got the new Venom movie. We'll give you our take in a moment. We've got our post-New York ComicCon Hangover, the biggest news you may have missed. Our Sire Spotlight features Jolly Jane creator Jeff Kaufman, and we will be spinning the racks. But as I mentioned earlier, our sponsor for tonight, it's our last week with him. He's been tremendous, has been Jolly Jane. It's a story of a paramedic possessed by the spirit of a serial killer. It just got funded on Kickstarter. I'm going to take all the credit and say we did it, and we made it happen. I am your host, Michael Dolce, and as always, I am joined by Mr. Lord of the Radio, Hassan Godwin.
Hey.
You're fired up, I can tell. There's a fired upness to you.
I'm always fired up. I'm on fire. I feel like I'm on fire. How come there's never any air in here? It's going to be like lifelong complaint.
Yeah.
Constantly.
But
there's
I was
no
like,
air.
We were walking over here. I'm like, it's cool out. You're like, no, it's not.
It's not cool out. It's 76 degrees out.
That's cool to me.
Because you're an idiot.
I guess so.
Okay, keep going.
Venom
I freely call you a fool.
Review.
Oh, man. We have to talk about this film?
We don't care what critics have to say.
We don't?
I meant...
What are critics saying about the film? Do you actually know?
It's got a great fan response and a not-so-great critical
People
response.
like this movie, huh? Like the people... I've seen like a couple of YouTube vids about...
I'm going to go on a limb and say I like the movie.
You did?
I did.
I
did.
That does not surprise me.
Because I also don't think it's hot outside right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you're an idiot and your brain is baked, and that is why.
All right. So here's the whole thing with the Venom movie,
you
right?
liked that film. All righty.
Hollywood Reporter actually did a whole article on this.
The Hollywood Reporter.
They discussed that it's an interesting time in superhero cinema, okay? Despite how often superhero fatigue...
mediocrity is the new excellence.
Despite how often superhero fatigue gets thrown around, the superhero villain movies aren't going anywhere. Several moments sure to be taken out of context and lessened as memes have led some to compare Venom to the Halle Berry dud Catwoman. But Catwoman, easily one of the worst 2000 comic book movie offerings, seemed to operate with a complete...
2000s?
Yeah, it was like 2004.
Was it?
Or 5, something like that,
wow.
Yeah. Complete lack of awareness of its lead actress's strengths and its source material. Venom, however, viewers may feel
and really bad CGI.
Is finally in tune with Hardy's abilities to deliver cadences and ticks, because that's all he does during the whole movie, that somehow add up to create an endearing human being who is just 1 foot out of reality. Additionally, Venom manages to tap into the character's comic book miniseries roots in a way that goes beyond Easter eggs and just creature designs. Do you agree or disagree with that statement?
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree with that statement.
Do you agree or disagree? Yeah.
I did. Well, I said I agree. I said yeah first. And
yeah,
I know.
You said yeah, and you had
up.
a nice pregnant pause to it, so I thought it was pretty impressive. So
that builds tension.
It definitely builds something.
I agree with those things.
Yeah.
I don't think it went together to make a a viable product. I agree that those things were better. I also agree that it was better than Catwoman, but a kick in the gut that sends you off a 6-flight building is better than Catwoman. Okay, so sends you spiraling to the street with no cushion or no reprieve, and to slam your face right into the concrete after falling off of a 6-flight walk up is better than Catwoman. I felt like I got robbed, and I saw that movie for free. I saw that movie for absolutely free, and I wanted my money back.
You know. One time, this is how how much of an idiot I was when I was like 15 years old. Though, I one time we knew somebody at the theater or something.
Yeah.
And like got me in to go see the Mortal Kombat movie for free.
Oh.
And it was like really bad. Maybe Mortal Kombat wasn't bad. I forget whatever movie I saw. It was just so. Oh, it was Jury Duty with Pauly Shore.
Oh my! We went to see a Pauly Shore movie.
I got in for free.
I don't know. That's the
length.
That's still time you're not going to get back.
That's what free can do for you.
But you're not going to go. But you're not going to get those minutes back. You're going to be on your deathbed.
No, but even then,
30 years from now, going, damn it, Pauly Shore.
But wait, no. But
I
even
could have
worse
had
though.
5 more minutes.
Even worse though, I got out, and then it was my friend's friend who got us in, and I go right up to my friend's friend. I'm like, thank God you put me in there for free, because that movie sucked, and he got fired. His manager was right there, and I was like, I gotta go. So Pauly Shore.
Okay, so like if I called you like a jerk, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of confirm that. you know,
just merely
that was
saying.
you all by yourself. I didn't say a word.
I'm just merely saying.
I got many.
I don't know what I'm saying.
I
but
got a
I'm
lot
just merely
of Dolce's
saying.
and jerk stories, though. I got a lot. You should have an episode on
I'm
that.
not, though. I'm a very nice.
You're a
I'm
great
very
guy.
Nice
You're-
person.
you're an awesome guy.
I'm very nice to people.
Yeah. Did you get your friend his job back?
He was my friend's friend, so I had
Okay. See,
and
it's all contingent.
plus, I'm 15. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do? Be like, no, sir. He did not get me in for free.
I don't know. Maybe you don't. Never mind. Maybe
right.
maybe you don't stick your finger in the face of the person who gave you a free movie and tell him he was a jerk for sending you into a free movie.
No, I didn't tell him he was a jerk. I said, thank God you.
You might as well have.
Thank God I did not have to pay money for this. All right.
Oof.
I didn't think Venom was Pauly Shore level bad. I thought it was.
No, it wasn't.
It was
Pauly
like
Shore
what a
level.
lot of critics had said. It
It wasn't Encino
inconsistent.
Man.
It was inconsistent. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
I just didn't understand. I always have this problem where I think, okay, we've learned X amount of whatever from the last 100 or so years of film, right?
Yeah.
So there's certain things we don't have to learn again. There's certain things we don't have to relearn, right? Or
Right.
reestablish. So watching this movie, it's like, is this the first comic book movie anyone's ever made? Because it was like a 90s comic book movie.
Yeah.
It was exactly like a 90s
Well,
comic
that's what
book
everyone
movie.
kind of said. I don't necessarily.
It was because it's like
what would
okay,
you
this
compare
is
it to?
not. It's not.
Spawn. You think?
Yeah, except
Actually-
it was a little better.
Actually,
than
wait a
Spawn.
minute. Say, that's a really great comparison in a way.
It was better than Spawn, but it was pretty much Spawn. And it's like, okay, the predicate here is that you're gonna get to see Venom live action. Who cares if it makes any sense?
No, but you know what?
Who cares if it's in canon? Who cares if it has any continuity with the actual story of Venom? You're just going to be happy to see Venom in real life with halfway decent CGI and a decent Oscar-nominated actor playing the main role.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So who cares? And that's basically the premise of all 90s superhero movies in the first place.
Right.
You just want to see Green Lantern. You don't care if it makes any sense. You don't care if that movie actually works. You don't care if there's any development or any plot holes or anything like that.
Right.
You just want to see Hal Jordan rev that ring up
Yes.
and make mini guns out of
Absolutely.
and they don't know because
Absolutely.
it's bull because
That
it doesn't
being
work.
That being said, I thought there was enough in this movie. It was erratic. I think people hit the nail on the head when they saw this.
Okay,
It was erratic.
Let's try let's try the prequel argument. Did you enjoy the movie, or you thought it was a good movie?
Did I enjoy? I enjoyed the movie.
Do you didn't think it was a good movie?
No,
There you go.
No.
Yeah, the discussion's over.
I enjoyed it though. It was erratic.
I win.
I don't know how that constitutes a win here.
Because I was saying it was a bad movie, and you were like, "No, I liked it." And I'm like, "That's not a good movie."
I didn't say it was a bad movie. I said it wasn't a good movie. I think there's a huge difference there. I
So
think if
what
you're
was
going
it?
to see,
What would you categorize it as?
I categorize it as erratic. I thought that it was all over
Yeah,
the
but
place.
I mean, like in a one-word category.
well,
like
that's
what adjective?
That's a different phrase than just.
What adjectives would you if it's not
here's,
bad?
Here's the funny part, right? You're always like, oh, we need to get more in depth with our discussions. I'm trying to discuss this with you, and you're just like, no. Give me one word. Just one word. Erratic. That's the word I will use to
You
describe
use
it.
erratic already, but I mean,
So now I'm not even allowed to use the word that
I
you
didn't say you're not allowed
All
to
right.
use it. It's just not like what does erratic mean?
Erratic means it's not fixed into one central tone, one central. Sometimes it's hilarious.
What did you like about it?
There was definitely some comedic moments to it. I enjoyed. Tom Hardy's like a Benicio del Toro. You don't know what he's saying half the time, but you just kind of like seeing him on screen, and he's got some sort of personality to him that you're just like, I'll sit through. I could sit through an hour and a half of this because that's all it was. It was an hour and a half, and it was great. Do you realize it had 2 Oscar-nominated actors? I don't even remember if Michelle Williams has won one. I know she
She's
did,
she's
but she
nominated.
was nominated.
Mhm.
And then
Tom Hardy.
Riz Ahmed, who is
And
the
Tom
villain.
Hardy was nominated.
Well,
I
yes,
think,
Tom
for
Hardy
that.
was nominated as well, but Riz Ahmed, who the I think
Who was
that's
the bad guy.
Who's the bad guy? He, I think he's like an Emmy-nominated guy or an Emmy-winning. I think he just won an Emmy, in fact.
Yeah, he's a big deal.
And I just laugh because all three of them, it's like it's just schlock. I mean, it's just schlock. But at the same time, it's not overdone schlock. I enjoyed. Let me ask you a question. Did you enjoy this movie more or less than Ant-Man 2?
Way less.
I enjoyed this more, like way more, because I just, what? At the end of the day,
I like stories and cohesion.
Yeah, but I didn't think Ant-Man 2 was very. I didn't think Ant-Man 2 was very good. Well, look, this had a beginning, middle, and end. It was missing a lot of key ingredients.
There was a start, a middle, and a finish. It didn't have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
No, it did. It was one of those things where it was like, okay, and now it's going to be the end, and you're like, we're missing a whole lot of stuff that came in here, but okay, it's
that's not an end.
It's enough. It was enough where I wasn't sitting there going like, I wasn't throwing my hands up in the air. I was enjoying the ride.
You enjoyed the film,
yes,
which is fine.
Yes, but I didn't say it was a bad film. I just don't think it was a very good film.
All right.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
So there was a lot of good things in it, though.
No, there wasn't.
Namely, the 2-minute preview of the Spider-Man.
That was awesome, but that wasn't really even part of the film.
End, which, to be honest with you,
didn't I tell you to stay? I said stay.
Yes.
I said don't move.
Which I got to be honest with you, I don't need a. We're gonna see that movie anyway. I don't need to see this 2-minute preview to see like that movie. But
so you didn't want to see it?
Well, I was hoping for something more. Something I don't know. When it said in another universe, I'm like, oh, is there something to do with the MCU? Oh, all right. But no, they didn't. They failed. They failed on many levels when that came to it.
That's my problem with this film in general.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys doing? Okay, you got lucky. You're lucky with this one. You're lucky because it's doing halfway decent.
But it's doing very well.
It's bananas. It's ridiculous. Why?
Yes.
He's the main villain. He's the main villain of Spider-Man. You license out Spider-Man, and then you undercut Disney and Marvel by turning his main villain into a hero of his own movie.
I know.
It's bananas. And bananas is not the word I want to use. It starts with a B, though, but I don't want to get us dinged.
There was... But I like the ding. The ding's funny.
I don't want to ding.
There were a whole bunch of Easter eggs in this, including the final scene after the credits, which we'll get into when we get back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Did you know you've been playing poker your whole life, even if you've never played a hand of cards? Hi, I'm Ellen Lakin, author of Poker Woman and host of the new show, Poker Divas. On the show, I talk about how poker strategy helps you win in business, life, and love. Tune in live every Thursday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network. Are you stuck in a rut? Negative thoughts, feelings, and conversations got you down? Hi, I'm Noreen Sumter, the Potentiator. Tune in every Tuesday at 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time and listen for new ideas on my show, Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way, on talkradio.nyc.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
Now in theaters, Beauty and the Beast is out, and there's big controversy with two because of the supposed gay relationship that takes place,
And I thought the real controversy would be about the bestiality.
Bestiality is not a problem.
Oh, yeah.
It's just homosexuality. We don't like that. Having sex with a giant beast, that's all right.
Secrets of the Sire.
Whenever I can make Hassan crack up like that, I've done good. Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We talk comics, movies, TV, pop culture, all the stuff you love to talk about. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Secrets of the Sire. We want to give a shout out to all our beloved patrons, including Einar Peterson, Matt Byer, Ashley Haikai, Program Director Stephanie Dolce, Executive Producer Steve Ovecki, Brian Phillips, and Christina Gillen, and as always, our Uber fan, Christina Dolce. We were talking Venom movie. Sam, our producer, off camera and during commercial break, was wondering, what was so bad about the story, and not using the word erratic, I use the word inconsistent. In that at one point, it is this dark and gritty, or it's trying to be, and then another minute you're like laughing out loud because the Venom Tom Hardy connection is kind of hilarious.
There were just moments like it just did. The pieces are there. They just decided not to fit them together.
I agree. Like they didn't know what kind of movie they wanted to be.
Yeah. So like he's got this blog, right? You don't even know if he's a vlogger or if he's like a roving reporter, or you don't really get. He's
like us. He just puts his face up there and claims to be a professional.
He had his own cameraman.
What's that over there?
That's a camera.
It's a camera standing in front of a man.
I thought you wanted to discuss this.
Some high tech shit here.
You don't want to discuss
Go ahead.
I'm not talking at all now because I hate you. He had his own cameraman.
Yeah.
He was told in the beginning, the whole thing started off, hey, look, just go interview this guy. He pays the bills, blah, blah, blah. He's like, why? Because the guy's a crook and he's a thief and he's a killer and he's a murderer, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Just go do it.
Yeah.
Because I'll fire you. Basically, he says
because the guy
right?
owns the network.
Yeah, he said he could buy and sell this network.
Okay.
So he didn't actually own the network, but he said he could buy and sell the network. Okay, I'll go. So he goes to do it. It was just so mind-numbingly. He goes into his girlfriend's files, finds information on him.
Yeah.
Inadvertent. And it was inadvertent because he didn't mean to do it. He went out to get some orange juice, and his girlfriend's computer just happened to be blinking tomorrow. The person you're going to interview tomorrow. Here's all this deep.
Scenes were a means of moving things forward without really taking time to explain a lot of how these things are happening.
And then she was going to marry him.
Yeah.
He pulls this piece of data out of her files, and then
he reads her email.
Yeah,
and then she
decides not to marry him anymore.
To be fair, but again, if they'd have just gone into the scene a little more, you have two Academy Award nominated people.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a betrayal of trust. How dare you go into my files and read it? It's the one thing you weren't supposed. Well, no,
and that's how they do the deal breaker.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They could have actually gone into there's a legit breaking of trust. How am I supposed to trust you anymore?
She comes out of her job with a box with a telltale.
How does she even know that he's the one that broke into
with the
her
telltale
files?
Box of I've just been fired, right? The cardboard box, and then she's like, she throws the ring at him. You lied to me or whatever. You broke into my files. It was a violation of trust.
Yeah.
The wedding's off. I'll never want to see you again.
She didn't even go that deep. Actually,
no.
She's just like,
she threw
you got me
him.
fired.
Yeah.
There you go. We're making the leap that it was a violation of trust.
And then he's suddenly eating Oreos out of a
another plot hole. Another plot hole too is how come all the symbiotes, and it's not symbiotes. I hate these people. It's a symbiote. No, it's a symbiote. Just say symbiote. That's what we've always been saying.
Tomato.
I know. It annoyed me though. Why do all the Venoms all the symbiotes? How do they all speak English? How do they all how does he all of a sudden
speak English because they achieve symbiosis?
I guess so. But it was just like one of those things where it's like, why is Venom like a dude who actually lives here versus like an alien creature coming down?
Because he achieves symbiosis.
He just instantly
on that guy's personality.
He just instantly sucked the guy's personality and created his own personality. But then they all have names like Venom and Riot.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wait a minute. Why do they have human names? Why wouldn't it be like my name is Chuchulu or something that's I don't know, alien or you would be able to, you can't pronounce my name without ripping your tongue out or something. You know what I mean?
Why do they have tongues?
I don't know.
They're symbiotes.
I don't know.
Why are they humanoid?
How are they even living out there? We don't even know that. They're just like, well, on my planet,
That's another thing. The guy
Venom's like, on my planet, I'm kind of a loser too. That's why I like you. And I'm like,
Yeah, the guy
All
said
right.
the guy
I
said
just throw my
the
hands
main
up.
villain sends the ships out because he's got spaceships, right? Because this is even in the
San
now,
Francisco.
but he could fly these ships around wherever he wants. And then he finds a comet. He's like, "Hey, I want you to bring me samples off of this comet and bring them back to Earth." Like and he's like, we're gonna bring these samples back to Earth,
supposed
and
to
then we're gonna achieve symbiosis with these samples, so that we can one day go out into space, and we don't need spacesuits or whatever, or we're gonna need to have symbiosis with symbiotes, so with spacefaring creatures, in order for us to achieve achieve interstellar
some higher level
civilization,
some garbage.
Yeah, whatever. It was all nonsense.
It was.
And then the entire
was very
film. Here's a
cardboard.
spoiler, everyone. Spoilers coming. The entire film, the entire beginning premise of the film is we can't find the hosts for the symbiotes because if you match them up with the wrong host, they die, right? So usually the human dies. Most assuredly the human dies, but sometimes both of them die. Both the human and the symbiote dies, right? So they need to have a proper host to achieve full symbiosis. So that is one of the reasons why Eddie Brock is kind of like the key character here, is because he was able to achieve symbiosis with Venom, right? But then the other guy, what is this? Rage? What was his name? Riot. The other symbiote, the eviler, evil symbiote. He can just.
But you can see the absurdity.
He can meld
in this
with
film,
anybody.
Right?
He could just jump into anybody.
It was enough to just.
Suddenly, at the end of the film, anybody could be a host, because even Michelle Williams was a host for a short amount of time. I'm like, what happened to the MacGuffin of needing an actual?
I know. It's just.
How can you look at that and go, "Oh, it's a good film. I actually like this. This is pretty good."
Again, not using the words "good film" together.
This is better than Ant-Man.
I enjoyed it more than Ant-Man. I actually enjoyed it more than Ant-Man. I really did.
No, that's a terrible film.
I'm just
so
saying.
Horrible. I mean, Ant-Man. All right. Well, that's a personal choice.
Yes.
So yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
As much as I want to give you trouble for that, or as much as I've already given you trouble for that, it's a personal choice. It's fine if you didn't enjoy it as much as Ant-Man. You gotta admit,
I win.
Yeah, right. You gotta admit that Ant-Man is a better told story than this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Piece of
well,
flotsam.
yes, they tried. They also failed on many levels, though. Ant-Man too, but they told a better story. Yes. I would definitely say that.
That's me winning, Sam. I just won. I won.
Oh, look who we got on the
You
Facebook
lost,
feed now.
And I won.
Mr. Dan Lawson, who used to be on our Periscope feed. Ironically, we're back on Periscope now. You can find us on Periscope, YouTube.
I miss Feeklio.
All that. I know. I know. He was great. He was really great. All right. Well, we are talking Venom movie. Our review. We're giving you
Venom.
our look. You guys chime in on the Facebook
Some
feed.
spoilers, unfortunately.
John Glenn Rubel Jr. says we will wait for it on Netflix.
Yeah, don't even wait for it to come on Channel 7 at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Dan
with commercials.
Lawson poses a good commercial, though. Actually, you know what? See, Venom is a terrific movie I see late at night. I already know, now that I've already seen it, especially, like, I'm just, like, flipping through. I just need something to be on in the background. I would enjoy that. I would enjoy it a second time, just watching it in the background.
I just don't understand what the point was, I just don't get what the point was. I guess so.
The point.
Because they're not going to be able. How much are they going to be able to build off of this?
Dan Lawson said
Venom is going to be the new. They're using Venom to take Spider-Man's place.
Which we will go into that in a second.
I'm
but
sorry.
Venom or Deadpool 2?
Deadpool 2.
I will say Deadpool 2 only because of the scene in the very middle of Deadpool 2 where they all die.
You're breaking it up by scenes. I'm just talking about like the overall movie. The overall story, the overall experience.
If you took out the scenes where all the heroes die in the middle of Deadpool 2, I would pick Venom as a more enjoyable movie.
Are we talking about enjoyment, or are we talking about cohesion? Are we talking about story? Are we talking about good or bad film?
For you, they're one and the same? You
no,
are making the argument that you can't.
I can discuss either one, but they're not the same discussion.
Well, but you're saying it's not mutually exclusive. I say that you can. A film can be poorly constructed and still be enjoyable.
No. A story can be bad and you could still enjoy the film.
Yeah.
Okay? Or a story could be really good and you could not enjoy it. I could discuss whether I enjoyed it or not, or what I did or didn't enjoy about it. But are we discussing enjoyment or are we talking film? Which one are we talking?
I'm saying it's a bad film, but I enjoyed it. Let's talk about some Easter eggs real quick before we go to break. Stan Lee cameo. No one ever, how come no one ever even questions Stan Lee anymore? Like, at the very end, he sees, sorry, spoiler alert. He sees Venom, and he's just like, you'll get her back, both of you, or something to that extent. And he's like, we know. And it's like, aren't you curious why this old man knows that you have a parasite inside you? Like, a symbiote inside you? Like, that's kind of weird. Cletus Cassidy? Woody Harrelson? What'd you think?
What was I supposed to think about
Good
him?
casting or bad casting?
Woody Harrelson's always good. But he's a Luke Skywalker in this, like he's at the very end.
Yeah.
Where he turns around and takes the hood off.
Yeah.
Why would he go to visit him in prison?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Just stop asking questions. That's the thing. Just don't even ask the questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so stupid. I use my brain.
Don't ask the questions.
Oh, stop punishing me for thinking.
If you think too hard about this movie, it will hurt you. It will physically hurt you.
I'm done with this conversation.
Last Easter egg.
I don't turn my brain off because I'm terribly afraid I'll never get it back on.
They killed J. Jonah Jameson's son at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. Did you see any more Easter eggs?
No.
There was some Lethal Protector stuff in there. There was stuff from the comic book series in there. But I think that's a little nerdy. Plus, I don't remember them. It was like I read them so god long ago, and they were not as good.
Yeah,
they were basically the equivalent of this movie. They were very beautifully drawn. There was some enjoyment.
The film was well done. Like, I don't even think the cinematography or the actual special effects were any of that all that impressive.
No, they were.
Like
they were
even
right.
the CG for Venom. Like Venom did not look. I expected Venom to look way better than that for a $100 million, over $100 million movie.
I know.
The Topher Grace's Venom looked almost exactly the same. As a matter of fact,
I know.
So they didn't even work on that.
All right, when we come back, we've got a lot of New York Comic-Con stuff to go over. Our guest is having a little bit of technical difficulty signing in, but that's okay. We are going to give you our post-New York Comic-Con hangover when we come back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Do you like comic books and movies? How about TV and pop culture? Then you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Michael Dolce, host of Secrets of the Sire. Joined every week by my co-host Hassan, Lord of the Radio Godwin. Together, we have over 15 years' experience creating graphic novels, screenplays, and more. Join us as we bring you the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc.
Are you feeling unhappy with your body, shape, or size? Ever feel out of control with food? I'm Elizabeth Tripp, your host of Nourish the Soul. Join me to uncover the root to these imbalances and discover a permanent solution to living a healthy life. Join us every Wednesday at my new time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
Wouldn't that be the most ironic thing in the Alanis Morissette version of it?
Ironic, but not really ironic.
Right. I don't actually know the definition of irony, so I'm just using it.
Yeah,
and I want to sound very smart.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We talk comics, movies, TV, pop culture. Go to secretsofthesire.com. We were ending our Venom discussion, starting our New York Comic-Con discussion. Post New York Comic-Con Hangover, the biggest news you might have missed. There was a lot of announcements there. Actually, did you feel like it was a little bit more than previous New York Comic-Cons? Like, it was almost, I felt like bigger announcements than like San Diego in terms of like what they usually end up doing. There was some Daredevil news. Bullseye's coming to Daredevil Season 3, which is debuting October 26th, which I thought was pretty good. Titans already got renewed for a second season on DC streaming, which is kind of crazy, I guess.
I just saw that.
The Deathstroke is also going to be coming to Season 2. There's a new Lobo in the Krypton series. But I think the big news that everyone was really kind of talking about was the epic 5-minute Aquaman trailer that they unleashed Comic-Con weekend. Shows a lot of the film. Now, you actually said something that shocked me backstage in our green room before we appeared, which was about Aquaman.
Oh, I don't remember what I said.
You said it looked pretty good.
Oh.
Comic book fans will be...
Two things.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like a lot of stuff. You just never listen when I say something is good. Or you're always contrarian. So whenever I say something's good, you say it's bad. That's what your problem is.
Okay.
All right, so we've cleared that. Okay. Pertaining to Aquaman, it looked good. I thought it looked... I definitely want to see it. It looks very interesting. The visuals look pretty solid.
The chase sequence
The visuals
in
looked
there.
a lot better than Venom.
Oh,
like,
I don't
okay,
disagree.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Venom. Like, I saw the trailer for Venom, and through the trailer, I wasn't interested in seeing that movie, which is odd, But I mean, the trailer. I mean, and there were some improvements in the movie over the trailer. Like the trailer was a lot of preliminary stuff, and in the movie itself, that some of the scenes had been improved.
Yeah.
But Aquaman, I actually watched it. And the visuals alone were like, wow, that looks pretty. It looks like epic. It looks like it has some scope to it.
Very Black Panther-esque in the scope of the scenery, right? Like how they built up Wakanda in the Black Panther film. Like I feel like they're building Atlantis.
A little too Black Panther-ish to the point where it's like, wow, it is Black Panther underwater.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Because he's the king and he's got to come home and he's got to take. I mean, they say it's in the trailer. That's not a spoiler. I don't know the film, so I can't really spoil any of it. But that's basically what and there's the love interest where there's the antagonistic love interest who may or may not be a love interest.
Sure.
Same thing. A lot of great special effects and a lot of epic visuals like him raising a submarine out of the water, that kind of stuff. Really boosts Aquaman, who was kind of a joke character for many years, many years.
Did you see the still?
When I was a kid, Aquaman was a serious joke.
We have the stills going right now, though. I mean, at the very end of the trailer, it has him in his orange suit. Doesn't look that bad, right?
It's not orange; it's gold.
It's gold with a tint of orange. I mean, look, it's close to the.
I'm not talking about the suit. I'm just saying in general, Aquaman was a joke. He could talk to whales,
right?
Right.
Like
yeah, but I mean, in this film and then
put Khal Drogo in there, and now all of a sudden it's tough
no.
I mean,
in the film and in recent iterations in the comic book, they've enhanced they've enhanced the mythology. It's more than just I can control fish with my brain, and I can make fish do things that I want them to do. There's much more to the mythology of Aquaman.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to exalt in that, and it does look. It looks enormous. It looks like an enormous movie, like with a lot of scope, a little more than Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
it looks bigger than Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And it looks bigger than The Man of Steel, which is odd because Superman actually was on another planet. So and they did attempt it. They did have the Kryptonian society and everything. There's been so many iterations of Krypton that
I'm kind of tired of it. This is kind of new. It's a little bit of a breath of fresh air. It's something new. It's something different.
Yeah. I mean, I think Richard Donner's Superman was like, to me, that's the definitive Krypton, because it was like a completely alien. Like, how can anybody even live there?
Yeah.
Kind of hysteria. I mean, everybody was dressed in chrome, which is a little odd, but it was indeed an alien environment. I respect Zack Snyder for trying to kind of enhance the Krypton visuals, like the landscape.
Yeah.
But that movie was so incoherent. Like Man of Steel was so twisted, so backwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's hoping that this is a cohesive movie with a good story. It's already got the visuals. It's already going to be a very pretty movie.
And the lead actor. I think they've got the lead actor
got
too.
A very charismatic
this guy's very
lead actor.
charismatic. Yeah, he'll bring you in.
He's due.
He'll bring you in.
He's due because Jason Momoa has been around a long time. Ironically, he started on a TV show called Stargate Atlantis. So that's just
there you go.
That's a little ironic.
Before we jump into our other big trailer news from New York Comic-Con, I want to give a shout out
to the show
to Jeff Kaufman, creator of Jolly Jane. They were killing it this weekend at New York Comic-Con. His Kickstarter is fully funded, but they got some stretch goals. If you go to secretsofthesire.com/Jolly Jane, you can actually go and back it. It's the spirit of a serial killer inhabits the body of a paramedic. It's a modern horror comic with a little bit of a twist to it, so go check it out. Again, we'll get him on the show at some point soon, but he's got a lot of really cool things going on. His books are actually really, really terrific. He's got another series called Roulette, which is really cool and has some Hollywood interest their way. All right, the other big thing that was happening was the 15 minutes of Dark Phoenix footage. I feel like Dark Phoenix is just sputtering to the starting line. Like every time, like they're getting their stuff, they're getting their they're getting their charge, and they're ready to I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make this happen. And then they just keep showing more of the film, and they show more trailers, and it's like
because it's a bust. And Fox is gonna
doing it. Why?
Disney's gonna own Fox in January.
I know.
So it's kind of a bust, and they're definitely gonna reboot. If they're not gonna reboot X-Men altogether, this movie is definitely gonna be outside of their canon. It's not inside the Marvel, the MCU. So.
I know. It's
a film in limbo right now.
I know. So we break down.
They're trying to milk it to make as much money as they can off of it in its I don't know. It's a neutered state of being.
I know.
It's hamstrung. So,
you know what it feels like?
Sophie Turner was actually at the show. She was actually,
she
did a Q&A
and everything like that. Yeah. So, just breaking down what we saw in this 15 minutes. You definitely got a look at teamwork. Scott tries to calm Jean down as the X-Jet heads into the upper atmosphere. That's actually a big visual for X-Men. That's an iconic X-Men visual to see them out in space in the space shuttle. So, in that regard, kind of piggybacking on your own point from before with Venom, it's kind of a cool thing. I'm happy to just see moments that I kind of grew up reading and seeing on screen. So there's nothing wrong with that. Mystique is, this is the problem though, we're complaining earlier about having Academy Award nominated actors in the films, or I was complaining, and not really doing much with them. They do way too much with Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique character. Mystique is only important because Jennifer Lawrence is the actress. She had a good role in X-Men First Class, but then Jennifer Lawrence became Jennifer Lawrence, and all of a sudden it's like, well, we have to beef this woman's character up because, quite frankly, we have an Oscar winner here. We need to do stuff with her. And she's Jennifer Lawrence. She has a magnetic personality. She's a box office draw. People really, the comics never had Mystique be this, big. So apparently her and Professor X have a big, falling out where she says you should call the team X-Women.
She's Nightcrawler's mother. She is pretty important.
She is important, but again, was she the?
She was in the Brotherhood of
linchpins.
She was a leader of the Freedom Force.
Yeah, but she was always the villain. But you
Mutants.
just said it. She was always the villain. She wasn't working with the X-Men. We know that's not the case.
But that doesn't mean she's not important.
I would
argue that she was not.
But you're saying she's one of the most important characters in the X-Men universe?
I
wouldn't say
she
that.
was one of the most important.
I'm asking you, would you say that she's one of the most important characters in the X-Men universe?
She's one of the most important characters in Fox's X-Men universe.
Okay. Again,
and since the beginning.
I understand that they did this.
She's been there since the start with Rebecca Romijn. Well, all right. I'm sorry.
I guess so.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just
merely sit here and listen.
At the end of the day, though, I guess my whole thing is that they're beefing this up simply to cater to Jennifer Lawrence. I guess at the end of the day, right, it doesn't matter because this thing is not going to matter one way or the other. Do you think there's any way we can come out of this Dark Phoenix movie with anything positive? Like, am I gonna be?
No.
Are we gonna fast forward to February?
Here's the
We're
problem.
gonna do our movie review.
The Dark Phoenix is two-pronged, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it correctly, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not Jean Grey.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna explain it in this story. So you need a follow-up story to find out that Jean Grey is actually not the Dark Phoenix.
Well, you don't know what they're gonna do with her in this particular story. I mean,
they're gonna
they
do
could
it right. They're gonna do Jean Grey. If they're gonna do it, they've already done it wrong. I mean, spectacularly wrong.
Yes, Last Stand was absolutely horrific. So fast forward, we're going to be here in February. We're going to review this movie if it doesn't get delayed again, which it will probably get delayed again because it's terrible. Or it'll be like one of those like VODs, you know, like it'll just be like video on demand. Like all of a sudden, it's like, hey, Dark Phoenix just dropped on Verizon now. All of a sudden, like the day it was supposed to be in theaters, and you're like, what? Huh? That's not good for the film. Am I going to be sitting here saying I'm going to enjoy it, and you're going to sit here and say it's a bad film? If I had
It depends on
interns,
how bad
if I had to predict, is there a prediction from the interns? Am I right or wrong? That is the kind of reaction I think we're going to get when Dark Phoenix comes out, period.
I say it depends on how bad you've hit your head just before the show goes on.
When we come back, we will pick this discussion up a little more. There's a couple other little nuggets, and then we will go spinning the racks.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
The best designs for your life start at home. I'm David Thiergartner, interior designer and host of At Home. Listen live Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as we talk to the very best professionals about interior design and the design that's all around us, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you feeling unhappy with your body, shape, or size? Ever feel out of control with food? I'm Elizabeth Tripp, your host of Nourish the Soul. Join me to uncover the root to these imbalances and discover a permanent solution to living a healthy life. Join us every Wednesday at my new time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
TalkingAlternative.com.
We're going to draft teams
Wow.
based on the likelihood of death.
I don't want to dispute you,
Yeah.
you know, because, we got this thing going.
Mhm.
But it sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, I'm going to be putting a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
You just have to show up.
Oh, okay. No, you know what? It's a great idea.
You
I
had
like
me at
this.
that.
I like this idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm all for it.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc. Love all the comments and feedback we're getting. Ironically, we got Dan Lawson on Facebook, and yet I finally got Periscope working again, and we're up on Periscope. People are chiming in left and right over there, so you can chime us in anywhere. But Dan, we appreciate it. Dan actually had a really great comment based on our Dark Phoenix discussion. It may be so bad Apple puts it on all our phones in an update. I think it
just shows up there.
It just shows up. And then all of a sudden we like that U2 album because it's just better than Dark Phoenix.
I mean, you got to hope it's going to be good because of how bad they did Dark Phoenix before.
Yeah.
But I don't think they even get, I don't think, what is it, Fox, right? I always
Yeah.
get Fox and Sony. because of the Spider-Man.
Because they're both terrible.
Yeah, because they're both horrible.
They're both not Marvel.
I don't think Fox even gets the Dark Phoenix. They think they thought the Femke Janssen one. They thought she was just a really powerful telekinetic who could turn people who could Thanos people, because she Thanosed a lot of people in that film.
Yeah,
if you remember.
Yeah,
right. Which no, that's not what the Phoenix was. So okay, so they got Sophie Turner, and she's all decked out in flames, and she looks Phoenixy.
Yeah.
Okay. They already ruined this because in the previous one, what was it? What was the last one?
It was 90 Days of Future Past, right?
No, it was
Apocalypse. Oh, yeah. I try to forget that one.
Yeah.
I try to forget that one as much as possible.
She came out with Phoenix superpowers, right? They presaged this movie with her, doing a cameo. Like for a moment, she utilized her Phoenix powers, and it already got that wrong. I'm like, well, okay, so that must mean that's not Jean Grey. But then again, they could have retconned it.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess they could retcon. They retconned it last time.
I know. They can retcon anything.
And they buried her. They buried her in a lake, and then she came out of the lake and killed Scott Summers. It was the ball.
For no reason, all of a sudden he was just dead.
Yeah, they didn't even show him die.
His
visor was just floating around. Yeah, like Thanos. You've been Thanos.
All right, there was a ton of stuff at New York Comic Con. One of the things that was released during Comic Con wasn't necessarily one of the big announcements, though, was that James Gunn, he's a gunning back here as we go spinning the racks.
Spin the rack, spin that rack.
Never gets old. James Gunn boards Suicide Squad 2 to write and possibly direct the sequel.
Good
James
for him.
Gunn has been hired by
Good for
Warner
James
Brothers
Gunn.
and DC to write with an eye and to direct the next installment of the Suicide Squad franchise. It's the first job he's taken since parting ways with Disney, which let him go from Guardians of the Galaxy in the wake of controversial old tweets that had been compiled by alt-right journalists and sent to Disney.
Wow.
Here's the thing.
They were actually going with it was the alt-right.
Well, it definitely was.
But I mean, they were kind of cagey about just calling it out like that, and now they're just outright just saying, yeah, this is a bunch of nonsense.
It's a bunch of nonsense. See, you put your little editorial spin on that. I don't think it's nonsense. Look, at the end of the day,
I said Nazis.
Oh, Nazis. Oh, okay. That's different than nonsense. I thought that was nonsense.
No,
okay.
I like that. I like that saying it was nonsense is bad, but calling them Nazis is that's all right. No, I think. Look, at the end of the day, they did the right thing by getting rid of him because it would be very hypocritical if they kept him for stuff that I agree with them firing. I agree with them firing him. I don't agree with them firing him outright like that. I agree that they should have looked into it. They should have made a big deal about looking into it. They should have had a discussion about it.
Yeah.
And if they had ultimately decided, look, it's going to hurt our brand to have him along, then they fire him.
Sure.
I agree with that. I think it was just so arbitrary, in the way they did it.
Yeah.
That it caused a lot of consternation with the fans.
Yeah.
They could have done it in a way where the fans everybody went, guess we got to get rid of him. There's a way you could do that because they did, it kind of was the same way with Roseanne.
Yes.
Where
Roseanne is exactly why they dug up all these alt-right. These
but I mean, if you look at like Roseanne's contemporary statement, everyone was like, yeah, we gotta, and you look at James Gunn's like, okay, you found these old statements and they were jokes. They were very bad. They're extremely bad. So we got to look into this.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure. But they just like, nope, he's out. And then they just kept him. They lingered on it. They lingered on whether to keep his script. They just let it continue to fester. And now it's a rivalry now.
Now it's interesting though.
But I mean, his career was over.
Right.
Technically, in theory.
Yeah, you kind of knew he was. It wasn't. You knew what
you
happened.
knew logically it shouldn't be, but
Yes.
you did. But it's very possible that it could have been.
Right.
Like it's very possible no one would, because I mean, look, the other side of it is Disney is this really monstrous monopoly right now.
Yeah.
So maybe they hold sway. Maybe they're the kind of company that says, look, if you hire this guy, we're not gonna, this.
Right.
I mean, maybe they didn't. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe it doesn't work that way. But I mean, you could see it could happen that way.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's got another job with another major studio in another major comic book franchise, that's the first chink in Disney's armor.
You shouldn't use that. We just figured that out. No, actually, I'm actually being dead serious. A baseball announcer used that exact thing. I guess he was talking about a Japanese pitcher though. When he used it, he inadvertently used it. So we're gonna edit that out of our live stream. That's streaming live right now. That we can't edit. Here's the funny thing now. Do you think Suicide Squad gets better? Do you think a James Gunn?
I honestly don't want to talk right now.
No,
I have no idea what you just did, but all right.
Do you think Suicide Squad?
Just at least the joke should be good.
It's not a joke. It wasn't really meant to be a joke. That's the first thing that came to mind when you said that.
Yeah, but if
it literally just happened.
There
like
literally
3
was
days ago.
No Asian in the equation that I was talking about. So I mean, all right.
Being illiterate, the Asian equation. That's good. I like that.
What this? Sam knows. At least Sam knows.
All right.
Sam's on my side.
Apparently,
this is the first problem with Disney. This is the first jump the shark moment, I think, with them, with the MCU.
You think so?
Yeah. Because I think they could have handled it better. I think James Gunn could have lost his job, but I think they could have handled it in a better way, where everyone was like,
everyone was satisfied at the end.
Yeah, everyone was like, yeah, it's got to happen that way.
Okay.
Right? And they just, by just arbitrarily doing that, and then letting it linger, and then, Dave Bautista coming out and saying,
he wants to be in Suicide Squad too now.
He's like, yeah, exactly.
He's lobbying for a role.
And so, I mean, it's kind of bad for them, and it's not like
it probably should have went the way.
It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy is a minor franchise,
right?
It's not like it's a small thing.
I will say one thing:
big deal.
If Guardians 3 is bad, Disney will never hear the end of it.
But see, we live in a world now where the fans will make it bad, even if it isn't bad. I mean, look what they did to Star Wars. It's like Solo was a completely serviceable movie.
Sure.
They totally tanked that movie out of spite.
Sure.
That's
with
what we're
the help
dealing
of some
with.
Russian trolls.
Nah, they've debunked that. I don't really think it was a Russian.
Apparently, kids want more female superheroes. New study finds.
Really?
I'm excited about this. I think this study is fantastic. I think everything about it is it's about time. I mean, it's about time. We need more female superheroes. I think the fact that we don't is silly. It's silly at this point.
That we don't have female superheroes?
That we don't have more. I mean, there should be more. There should be nothing but female superheroes going forward.
I agree.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, is it not? I don't know what else you could get from this headline, except that that's a tremendous progress that has been made.
I think they're just saying that kids want to see, like their moms and their sisters as superheroes. They don't mind more female superheroes. I think part of the study was from Doctor Who and the success of the female Doctor Who, and then also Wonder Woman.
She's pretty cool, by the way.
And the
did a good job.
And the hype behind Captain Marvel.
Sure.
I mean, people are looking forward to it. So I think the kids are kind of cool with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think they're looking forward to more. I don't really think it's more of a political statement than that.
I think when you give kids a certain message, they will go with it, and they will elevate to that message.
Yes, that's very cleverly worded.
I thought so. I thought so.
Yeah.
We were able to live stream from New York ComicCon this year, which is awesome. So thanks to Comic Book School. We're going to be posting some live footage and some more new audio from an editors panel that took place down there on Monday. So check us out Monday. We're going to be doing that as well too. Your quick take on Comic-Con. You were there on Thursday. What did you think of the show?
Thursday was nice. I need to go Thursdays from now on. It was less filled with bastards. And therefore, it was nicer for me to be able to get around.
That is a completely unsurly statement.
Look, a lot of people in Hassan, we don't like each other. Because Hassan and Crowd Hassan. No, we don't
just doesn't fit.
we're not carpooling. So it was fantastic as usual. I never have enough money for those things.
Yeah.
I see all kinds of wonderful stuff. The thing that does drive me crazy about the shows, I will be quick, is that a lot of the stuff that I like with those statuettes and stuff like that, little toys like mechettes, like last year they had Thanos, his minions and stuff like that. None of those are ever for sale. It's always coming this year or coming in the next.
Right.
So like,
and then you got to make it. It's tough to go find.
You have to find them. You pay exorbitant amounts of money for them because you can't get them in that kind of setting. It's ridiculous. But other than that, it was pretty cool.
That was pretty damn good.
There was a lot of atmosphere.
I agree. I was exhibiting for 4 days, selling copies of Mainstream. We did great with books. Mainstream and the Sire sold tremendous, even more so than in recent years. So kudos to everyone who purchased from my booth. There's one family who I've done sketches for the last 4 years. They were dating, then they were married, then they have a little kid, and now the kid's kind of tall now, and so I made him like a Star Wars family. It was pretty cool. So go check out MikeBooks.com for a full recap. Next week, jump on back here because we've got a lot of fun. We are going to be previewing Daredevil Season 3, but we're also going to have How to Train Your Dragons, Richard Hamilton on. He does the comic books for Dark Horse Comics. He is a Sire fan from way back, so it's pretty cool. Coming up next, The Governor's House.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.